Okay. Hello, everyone. A very heartiest evening to all the tech enthusiasts watching us today. Welcome you all to the Solution Challenge Week of Prep. I am Arushi Ratela, a team member at GDSC Banasthali Vidyapith, and I would be your host for the day. A huge shout out to our audience for eagerly awaiting this session and joining us. We are super duper excited to see you all gathered here today. If this is indeed your very first time attending a GDSC event, let me take a quick minute to guide you through it all. Google Developer Student Clubs are college communities run by students who encourage peers for building a collaborative environment that has the potential to generate solutions to real world problems, and GDSC Banasthali Vidyapith is one among them. So join our community platform today if you haven't already. Also, a heads up to all of you present here today who wish to join GDSC Banasthali Vidyapith as a team member. Our recruitment drive is live and the application form for the same is accessible on our Linktree. The team will be dropping the link to the same in the chat box right about now. Do apply. We wish to see all of you talented people join our team. Now, as all of you are aware, the Google Solution Challenge 2022 has officially begun. We at GDSC Banasthali Vidyapith are here with the Solution Challenge Week of Prep, where all our invited Google experts would be imparting their knowledge of various Google technologies for you to use in your Solution Challenge projects. So, without further ado, let's dive right into the first day of the Solution Challenge Week of Prep. So, the agenda for the day is kickstarting Firebase, also seeing the application of Firebase in real world problems and projects, and how to implement Firebase in our solution challenge projects. With that being said, we take immense pleasure in introducing our guest speaker for today's session, Mr. Vijraj Singh, who is an organizer for GDG Jalandhar and a Google developers expert for Firebase and web technologies. He's a front end developer by profession and a community champion by passion. He has given 200 plus talks and workshops for communities over the past 5 years. His areas of expertise are web, Firebase, Google Cloud Platform, and UI UX design. He is always eager to learn new technologies and develop solutions based on them. He enjoys mentoring people and nurturing communities. Outside work, he is a foodie and enjoys watching YouTube videos. We are super glad to have you with us today. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Arisi, for the wonderful introductions, and thank you, GDSC Banasthali Vidyapith team, for having me. So I'll share my slide. Okay, I guess it's visible. Yeah. So hello everyone. This is Richard, and I'm a Google developer expert for web technology and Firebase, and also I'm a community organizer for GDG Jalandhar, and also I'm working as a full stack developer at Agro. So today I'm going to talk about like Firebase. First, like what is Firebase and how we can implement that technologies in a web platform. So let's get started. So so first I'll talk about the overview. Like first we'll deep dive into the basic fundamental, like why we need a Firebase. So we'll talk about like web platform, what is web, how we can create a web applications, and the second part is what we need, why we need Firebase, how we can create a web applications with the help of Firebase. So let's get started. So as I mentioned, as you know already, like we can create a website or we web has a three core component. First one is website, and the second one is, let's say, browser, and the third one is server. So we can create a website with the help of HTML, CSS, and the JavaScript. With the help of HTML, you can provide a structure of your web page. If you want to design your web page, you can use the concept of CSS. Or if you want to make interactive web page, let's say we have a div element, we have a button. So we want to, when we want to click on the button, we want to hide some div element, or we want to show some div element. You can perform this kind of interactive actions with the help of JavaScript. So, and the second one part is the browser. Like we can create a website with the help of HTML, CSS, and the JavaScript. And now we can run our web page with the help of browser. So browser is just like as a computer program where we can install in our operating system. And with the help of that particular program or the software, we can access the web page. And each browser have their specific rendering engine. Let's say if I talk about the Google Chrome, we have a rendering engine name is Blink, and similarly, for Mozilla, we have a SpiderMonkey, and we have a lot of browser in the market. So, like first, we can create a website with the help of HTML, CSS, and the JavaScript, and we can run our web page with the help of browser. Now, the third one part is the server. Means like let's assume you have created a website and you can test it your website with the help of browser. Now your website will be accessible with the help of your laptop or maybe the system you are using. So now my website should be accessible from the different locations or from different network or different devices. So I need a server. So server is just like as a computer where we can upload our HTML, CSS, or the JavaScript code into that particular computer, and that computer will serve the that particular CSS, HTML, JavaScript file to the browser, and so that we can able to access the website. So server is basically serve the data to the browser. And in the market, we have a three types of server. First one is web server, and the second one is email, and the third one is file server. So whenever we are serving a web page or whenever we are accessing a web page, let's say gmail.com, google.com, or the twitter.com, so we are using web server. Here we have to use HTTP protocol, hypertext transfer protocol. And the second one is email server. Whenever you are sending or receiving a mail over the network, we have an email server. Here you mainly need to work on SMTP and POP protocol, like simple mail transfer protocol. And the second one is POP, post office protocol. And the third one is file server. Whenever you are uploading or downloading a file over the internet, so we have a file server. So all three server will be work as a combination of one server. Let's say I have opened let's say mail.google.com website. So first we are accessing a web page, so that will be a web server. And when I click on the compose button inside a Gmail and then try to send a mail to the one of my friend, so here we will use the concept of email server. And within a mail, whenever let's say I'll attach some file or maybe I'll upload some file within a mail, so here we have to use the concept of file server. Here we have using FTP protocol. So this is the basic fundamentals about the web technologies, like how we can create a website with the help of HTML, CSS, and the JavaScript. And then we can enhance our web capabilities with the help of the framework. Let's say you are using Angular, Vue, React, or maybe the backend technologies. It's all about whatever you are learning. You want to create a solutions. That solution can like reach to the next billion user. So I think you can feel like up to paisa hi paisa hoga, like you feel, yeah, I can get a good job opportunities in the web field. So let's assume you are in a college and you got some ideas. Let's say I have an idea about, let's say, creating a Zomato type of applications, or maybe I have an idea about startups. So what do you think? So one of the most challenging tasks for being as a developer, there will be a confusion. Let's say how to start, where to start, what type of technologies we can select for the front end, what type of technologies or the language we can use for the back end, or same with the database part. Like, do I need to use SQL database or do I need to use NoSQL database? So there is a lot of confusion in terms of uh, selecting the roadmap, tech stack, the database part. And let's say once you decided the technical stack, like for the front end, you are using XYZ technologies. For the back end, you're using XYZ technologies. Same with the database part. And then you start working on it. And then you need to write a lot of amount of code for managing infrastructure, writing logic for the securities, or a lot of logic related to front end and back end. And there might be a condition like that, like you maybe you forget to write some logic for the security, or you forget to write some logic related to backup. So there is a lot of headache for writing our own infrastructure. So that's why Firebase came into the picture. Like, if you are a web developer or if you are a front end developer, you don't have a knowledge about backend, or you are good in creating a user interface with the help of HTML, CSS, and the JavaScript, or you are good in creating an Android applications or the iOS applications. So you can connect that particular front end applications directly with the help of Firebase. And yeah, so Firebase is just like as a unified platform. With the help of Firebase, you can create a large-scale web applications without managing the infrastructure. Means you don't need to worry about the infrastructure. We have a front-end applications. You can create a front-end applications, let's say React, Vue, or the Angular, and you can connect that particular front-end applications with the help with Firebase, and you don't need to worry about the database part, hosting part, or any other services. So Firebase has a mission to help the developers succeed because we don't need to worry about the infrastructure. We just need to focus on the front end part, the app quality, how we can gain more user group. So one of the best thing about Firebase, like if you are an Android developer, you can create a front like UI applications with the help of iOS, and then you can connect your iOS application with directly with Firebase. Same with Android or the Flutter, or you can if you are using web technologies, so you can directly connect your Firebase uh, project with web JavaScript, and same with C++ or the Unity for the game development. So, like Firebase is providing a lot of services. Like if you are a web developer, one of the challenging tasks is to create a website, and then we need to host a website. So, for hosting a website, we need a server. So, Firebase is providing let's say hosting as a service. So, Firebase is providing a lot of services. So, like some of like these services is categorized into the three main categories. So, first one is build better applications, and the second one is improve your app quality, and the third one is grow and engage your user. So first I'll talk about the build better applications. I have an idea, I want to create applications for my idea. So first, what type of things I need to implement in my applications. The first one part is authentications, like where I can add a features like user can come, user can sign up, or user can log in, or user can authenticate the you authenticate and then go to the navigations or the dashboard part. So Firebase is providing authentication service. Same with, let's say I have a website, I want to host my website, you can use Firebase hosting. Or if you want to write let's say custom business logic or the REST APIs, you can use the concept of cloud function. Or if you have a data in your database and you want to perform some machine learning model, so we have a service for machine learning. Same with in Firebase, we have a two type of database. So first one is Cloud Firestore, and the second one is real-time database. And the next services is like sometimes you need to store, let's say, media file or the PDF file, block type of data. So here you can use the service as a cloud storage where you can directly upload image file, audio file, text file, or the PDF file in the cloud services. And the last part is extensions. Like here we have some sort of pre-built cloud functions that you can use in your applications. So this is a build better applications categories where with the help of these services, you can create applications very fast, scalable. You don't need to worry about the infrastructure. They are providing a set of functions. We just need to invoke that particular functions in our applications, and that's it. So once you build your applications with the help of Firebase services, let's say authentications, hosting, machine learning, database, or cloud storage, or the extension, now you can improve your app quality. So for improving your app quality, we have a service like Crescent Analytics, performance monitoring, test lab, and the app distributions. So let's say one of the most challenging tasks for the mobile developer is whenever I'm creating a web Android applications or the iOS applications, I just need to test that particular application in our devices. So this is a like cost factor where we just need to go to the store and then purchase Samsung mobile, iOS mobile, or maybe I can go to the store and purchase Pixel mobile and then install the applications, and then we can test the applications like how applications is working on each devices. So this is a headache, challenging task for us in terms of budget. So here we can use the concept of test lab. You can just go to the test lab, you can select the device, you can select the operating system, let's say Android 11 or Android 12, and then you can install the application and you can test the applications in a Firebase. The next one is grow and engage your user. So you have created your applications with the help of bit better applications category, and then you can improve your app quality. Now you can gain more user, or you can engage with user with the help of grow and engage user as a service. So here we have an analytics. You will get an analytics report like how many type of users are using your website, how many type of from different cities people are visiting on our website. You can use the service as a prediction. You can send push notifications with the help of Firebase Cloud Messaging. You can send personalized marketing campaign with the help of in-app messaging. So we have a lot of services like remote config, A/B testing, and the dynamic links. So Firebase is just like a fully bundle. You just need to focus on the front end part. You can connect your front end with with Firebase, and you don't need to worry about the back end logic. We have a lot of services. You just need to use that services. We have some sort of functions. We just need to call that particular functions, and then we can use each services with our front end. So in this sessions, I'm specifically will talk about the web platform because like web is the most popular platform. Yeah, you can use Firebase in a mobile applications like Android, iOS, but specifically in this session, going to talk about web. So for creating a web applications with the help of Firebase, we have a lot of services. So first one is Firebase authentication. Second one is the database part. Like we have a two database, Cloud Firestore and the real-time database. And similarly, if you want to upload media file, so we have a cloud storage. If you want to host your website, you can use the concept of Firebase hosting. Or if you want to write some custom business logic, you can use the concept of cloud functions. Firebase extension is pre-built cloud functions, and if you want to send some push notifications to the user group, you can use the concept of Firebase cloud messaging. And same last one is dynamic links. So I'll deep dive each services one by one. So first one is Firebase authentications. So let's say in general terms, let's say I wanted to implement authentication features in my web applications. So what I do here, we have a database, and here in we have a front end logic. So first we will check the email id and the password will exist in our database. If it is matched, then we can pass the user to to the dashboard part. But this is very challenging task for us to make that applications more secure. So Firebase is providing a set of functions as a authentication services. You just need to call that particular functions, and then you can easily authenticate your user in your applications. So one of the best thing about Firebase, like you can create, you can use authentication as a you can use authentication with third-party service provider. Let's say you can implement the feature login with Facebook, login with Google, Twitter, LinkedIn, or you can use the custom email address. Like you just need to enter email ID and the password and click on the sign up button, and your user is authenticated. Means account is created. So I'll give you some code part. So here, let's say I have in JavaScript, I'm using Firebase version SDK 8. So here we have an email ID. My email ID is, let's say, someone at the rate example.com, and the password is password. So first we are using Firebase. So here we have written Firebase, and then inside Firebase we are using authentication service. So here we have an auth function, and inside auth we want to sign up the user. Let's say you can go to the create account, and then you can put your email and the password. So we have a function's name is create user with email and password. If you want to log in with login feature, so you can use the function's name is sign in user with email and password. So here we have a function create user with email and password, and inside this particular functions you can pass two parameter. First one is email id and the password, and the logic is simple. And this is a JavaScript promises you can handle with the help of catch block and the then block. So this is very simple. You can sign up your user, means you can create your account with the help of, let's say, 1 2 3 up to 5 lines. And yeah, so same with multiple services, like you can authenticate your user with the help of Google account or maybe Twitter account. We have some sort of functions like firebase.auth, let's say sign up with Google or sign up with, let's say, Twitter. So these are a lot of functions. We just need to call that particular functions in our applications, and we can easily achieve the features of authentications. Yeah. The next one part is Cloud Firestore. So Cloud Firestore is a database. So first I'll talk about what is database. So database is just like, let's say we have a data, we can update, like upload, store the data in a database part where we can apply CRUD operations in easy way. Like we can perform create operations, we can perform read operations, we can perform update operations, we can perform delete operations. So in the market, we have a two type of database like SQL database and the NoSQL database. So if I talk about SQL database, like here we have a some sort of schema. Like here we can store the data in terms of rows and column. So here we have a most of the popular example name is RDBMS, Relational Database Management, where you need to mainly work on MySQL database. But if I talk about NoSQL database, here we don't have any such kind of schema. It's a user generated data or maybe machine generated data. There will be a no schema. So here you can use n number of database as a NoSQL categories. So Cloud Firestore is one of the NoSQL database. Here we don't have such kind of schema. We just need to add the data in terms of collections and the documents. So which is very serverless. You don't need to worry about the database part, like how many users are accessing your database services. It will automatically manage load managing these things. And one of the best thing about Cloud Firestore, let's say if you are out of the network and you have put some messages in our applications, and yeah, it will automatically sync and you can still access the applications in offline mode. Means if you are using WhatsApp, so if you are out of the network, you can put some messages and you can go to the network zone and it will automatically sync that particular messages. Same here, it will work as an offline support. So I'll give you the example like how we can perform queries in Cloud Firestore. Like here we have a NoSQL database, which means we don't have such kind of schemas like rows and column. So we need to create a collections. Inside collections, we can have a multiple document, and each document can have a multiple fields. So let's say we can create a database reference. So here my database reference is Firebase and then Firestore because I'm using Cloud Firestore as a service. And then we need to define a collections. Let's say I want to create a record where my name and my email, and here we have a collections name is users. So here we need to use db.collections. My collections name is users, and then I want to add a document. Here we have a document, and then we have a data inside the document name is name and email, and this will work as a JavaScript promises. We can handle it, and yeah, so this is a simple query for adding a data into the Cloud Firestore. Similarly, we have a query's name is .get method, for we use get method for collecting a data from the Cloud Firestore. The next one part is our real-time database. Real-time database is a lightweight database. Whenever you are creating a complex application, you can go with Cloud Firestore. But if you are creating a light applications, light version of applications, let's say we don't have a large scale schema, then you can use the concept of real-time database. Here we have a tree-like structure, JSON tree-like structure. It's a serverless and it support offline features. And yeah, for creating a lightweight applications, you can use real-time database. So here I'll show you how we can add a data in real-time database. So let's say I have a variable in JavaScript. Let's say variable name is name. My name is name, and then we can create an object of that particular variable. So name colon my name. For adding a data in real-time database, so we need to use set method. Set method means override the content. And for let's say add the data, so we can use push method. And here we have a database reference. So like here we have a tree, inside we have a child, and then inside child we have a data. So this is kind of queries we can run in cloud real-time database. Now, the next services is Cloud Firestore. Let's say you have created a website where user can sign up with the help of Firebase authentications, and then we can store the user informations with the help of Cloud Firestore. And let's say if user want to upload or change the profile picture, so we need to upload that particular profile picture. So here we can use the concept of cloud storage. So here we have you can directly upload image file, media file, PDF file, any document in cloud storage. and you can trust on it because it's a strong user security based system where we can apply security rules, and it's a robust infrastructure. You can scale your applications. You don't need to worry about like how Google is storing images or media file in their storage service. So this is a simple example. Like let's say I wanted to upload some image or maybe PDF file or the document file in cloud storage. So let's say we have a database reference. So here we have a database reference, and for uploading a file into cloud storage, we have a method dot put method. Okay. Inside put method, we can pass the file. So file may be PDF file, audio file, media file, any file, and then this will work as a JavaScript promises, and you can handle with the help of the that block and the catch block. So this is a simple logic. Within a one line, you can write a logic for uploading a file into the cloud file storage. The next services is Firebase hosting. Firebase hosting, let's say I have created a website where I have implemented the feature authentications. I have used the database services like Cloud Firestore. I have used the services like storage for uploading a file. Now my website is ready. I wanted to host my website so that it can be accessible from different devices or different network. So you can use the concept service like Firebase hosting, where you just need you can just deploy your website, and you will get the hosted URL within a simple commands. Like first we need to create Firebase init, and then you can build your applications, and then you can deploy your applications. And it's a free services. Once you deploy your applications, you will get free SSL certificate, and it will automatically manage the version inside cloud host of Firebase hosting. And your website, let's say HTML file, CSS file, and the JavaScript file will be stored in a data center of Google, and that particular data center here, they are using SSD. So SSD is very fast as compared to the like solid normal drive, optical. The next one part is, let's say I have used these services like authentications, database, storage, and then we have used the service name is hosting. Now let's say sometime I need to write some my custom business logic. So here you can use the concept of cloud functions. Here you can create some custom business logic, means the REST APIs, custom JavaScript functions for let's say for backup, for triggering some mechanism in your backend logic. So you can use the concept of cloud functions. You can write cloud functions with JavaScript or the TypeScript. And the next one part is, let's say I created a website where user can upload their images. Let's say it's look like as an Instagram. Now let's say user is uploading 150 MB of images in my database. So like that will be huge file. So we need to like resize the image. So here we have a Firebase extension. You can use these pre-built cloud functions. Let's say resize image, translate text, sending a mail, triggering a mail, sync with Mailchimp. Means you can use directly the concept of Firebase extension, where user will upload the let's say 15 MB file, and it will automatically resize the file maybe 15 MB to 100 KB. So you can use the concept of Firebase extension, which is pre-built cloud functions. The next one part is, let's say you have created a website where you can user can register, user can navigate to the dashboard, and then sign up for the push notifications. So here let's say we have an admin panel. We can write some text message, and then we can send a push notification to the user group, those who have subscribed for the push notifications. So here we can use the concept of Firebase Cloud Messaging. You can send push notifications. It's a free service, and yeah, like there will be no coding required. If we have some sort of JavaScript functions, we just need to invoke those functions for sending a push notifications. And we can create a group. Let's say I have 100 users, and for 50 users I wanted to send X type of push notifications, and for 50 users I wanted to send, let's say, Y type of push notifications. So we can do that with the help of cloud messaging. So overall, in summary, we can create a large scale or robust applications with the help of Firebase in web technologies. Like we can use the concept of authentications where we can authenticate the user with the help of authentication surveys. We can use Firebase as a database. Here we have a two database like Cloud Firestore and the real-time database. Or if I want to upload media file, let's say, or audio file, PDF file, or the document here, then you can use the concept of cloud storage. Or if you want to host your website, then you can go with Firebase hosting where you can host your website. Or if you want to write some custom business logic, you can use the concept of cloud functions. And the next one is Firebase extension, which is pre-built cloud functions, let's say text translate or image resize, sending mail, these kind of like pre-built cloud functions, which is name is Firebase extension. Or you can send push notifications with the help of Firebase cloud messaging. So Firebase is providing a lot of services. Like if I talk about for the web platform, like we have a lot of services, and within a week we can create a web applications where n number of users can access our web applications. So here we have a lot of opportunities. We can create a solutions for the communities. So I'll give you the example like how we can use the concept of Firebase in a community level or maybe in a colleges. So first, like I'll show you, like let's say if we have a events in our GDSC community, so we can create a event registration page with the help of Firebase. So first thing we need to create a HTML form. Like we can create a HTML page where we have a field, let's say email ID and the password, not a password. We can collect basic informations about the attendees, let's say email id, name, gender. These type of fields you can add in your HTML pages. And then you can authenticate, you can use the concept of authentications, like only authenticated user can fill the form. Like first we need to sign in with Google, and then you will be able to access that particular registration form. Once the user will sign up with Google, and then user can see the registration form and user can fill the data, and then we can store that particular data into the cloud file store, which is a NoSQL database. Okay. And the next one part is, let's say you can write a cloud functions, you can write custom logic. Let's say once the user will attendees will register with our applications, you can send a custom mail, thank you for the event, and we will send you more update about the event in upcoming a week. So you can use the concept of cloud functions where you can send a confirmation mail. So simple things like first step, you can create HTML page. Second thing is you can like authenticate your user with the help of Firebase authentications. You can store your data of your attendees with the help of Cloud File Store, and then you can send a confirmation mail like thank you for registering XYZ event. You can use the concept of cloud functions, and this is an entire web application. You can host it on Firebase hosting. So that's it. This is very easy. You can go to the documentation. You can explore like how we can set up the Firebase for the web applications, and then you can start working on it. So yeah, like if I talk about in my college or graduation time, like I have created a various applications for the communities. Like we have created a simple dashboard where we can like upload some data, and we can like analyze or for the analytics purpose, research purpose, we are using that particular data. So similarly, we have created a website, web applications with the help of Firebase for hostels. Like we have some schedule for the food. For the lunch time, there will be a this food. For the let's say for the dinner, there will be a this kind of food. So we are listing those food for the day wise, and we are sending a push notification to the students. Like today, there will be a meal, and here we have a menu. So you can create this kind of applications with the help of Firebase. You just need to focus on the fundamental part first, and then you can connect your front end applications. Means you can create any front end applications with the web or maybe iOS, Android. You can connect those applications with Firebase, and you can use those services. So yeah, so there is a lot of opportunities for you to create applications for with Firebase. So yeah, so for more information about Firebase, like how we can start, how we can like getting writing a logic with Firebase, you can go to the website firebase.google.com, and then you can create a project, and then there will be instructions like how like for web platform you can copy the JavaScript code, and then you can start working with Firebase. So for more information about Firebase, look, I'll suggest you to follow the Firebase documentations. Like you can go to the firebase.google.com. This is a website. Here we have a documentations like for each platform. Let's say if you are working on Android or iOS web, so you can go to the platform, and then here we have a documentations about Firebase services, like same with authentications, database, so you can use it. Also, I have created a Medium articles series about Firebase. Like you can search on Medium Firebase for web, Raj, and then you will get a details tutorial about like how we can use cloud for authentications, how we can use storage, how we can use database in a with the help of Firebase. Also, I have created videos on Firebase on my YouTube channel name is Tech for Men. So this is all. This is all the resources. If you want to start, if you want to build some applications with the help of Firebase. So yeah. So I'm open for the questions. Like if you have any questions, yeah, and love to answer this question.
Without a doubt, that was an incredibly insightful session for our audience. Pretty sure we've got increasing number of Firebase enthusiasts in the audience now, including myself. Thank you so much, sir. We'd also like you to tackle a few questions. So the first question for you is, our audience would like to know about your Firebase journey. How did you get into it, or how did you get the motivation to get started with Firebase?
Yeah. Sorry, I just was in the mute. Yeah. Can you tell me? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hello.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
So our audience would like to know about your Firebase journey. How did you get started with Firebase? Like, what was your motivation behind starting with Firebase?
Yeah, like I started my career in the web development in the first year of my college, and then I started building website for me for my site. Like let's say I usually create a website for the resources. Let's say in colleges we have a lots of resources, so I want to create a platform where we have a centralized resources where any student can go and then like check out those resources, maybe related to material or maybe related to queries. So I have created those web applications with the help of Firebase, and then I got a curiosity like how we can create applications for the community. So I usually working on Firebase like yeah. So like there is a lot of things like I have implemented, but yeah, there's
So, sir,
multiple
the zeal
things.
to
Yeah,
solve the real world problems got you started with Firebase
yeah.
after you learned the front end. All right. Moving on to the next question, sir. Why is Firebase Analytics a recommended part of using Firebase products?
Yeah, so let's say you have created an Android applications or the iOS applications or maybe web applications. You can use the concept of Firebase Analytics where you can get analytics report. Let's say if you are running a large scale campaign, name it, let's say IWD India or DevFest, so you can get the details analytics about the event, what type of users are interested in your web applications, what type of age group or the country. So here like you will get a details report for the marketing campaign, and you will get a performance related user experience. Like for the login screen, user need to wait for a 2 second, so you can improve that particular user experience. Like maybe you can improve 2 second to the, let's say, 1.5 second for the login screen. So yeah.
Right. Okay, sir. So the last question for the day is: does one need to use other Firebase services in order to use Firebase cloud messaging?
Sorry, I didn't get.
Sir, does one user need to imply or use other Firebase technologies in order to use Firebase cloud messaging?
No, it's totally up to you. Like what type of solution you are building, you can use cloud messaging or any other services for the push notifications, means the sending notifications. There is a multiple platform who are providing a push notification services. Let's say one Signal or third-party companies. But if I talk about like the best thing, like cloud messaging is free. You don't need to pay for the subscription for using a messaging service. So yeah, here we have some sort of functions. You just need to collect a token and then you can store the token into the database part and then you can trigger push notification those people who have subscribed for the push notifications.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your invaluable knowledge with us and for committing to this session. It was really nice having you here.
Yeah. Thank
All
you.
right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right, folks. Here we come to the end of the day one of Solution Challenge Week of Prep. GDSC Banasthali Vidyapith feels immensely excited to share that on 4th March, we are going to conduct the second session for the week of prep, which will be about Google Cloud. So I would like to ask all the cloud enthusiasts to stay tuned with our social media handles for all the updates. All the links have been provided in the description below. Thank you everyone for joining us today. We wish to see the same zeal and enthusiasm for the upcoming speaker sessions as well. See you there, everyone. Happy coding.